welcome back everybody to the EsportsWales channel. You are joining me, Britannia, and Gizmo, who will be bringing you colour to your grey screens. You join us here for week 5 of the Valence League. Team Yarn versus the old buddy, old pals, HT Haven. Got to be careful not to say your full name there, just in case. Gizmo, sorry.
Wait, sorry. I didn't check one of the pages, so the transition still said Cowboy. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
It's all right. It's no worries.
Production value is on point today. Yeah.
Twitch's fault. We'll say it's Twitch's fault.
Yeah.
Some issues. Bless them.
Yeah, we had a slight problem getting the stream ready. For some reason, most of all of my production stuff just got cleared. Who knows? But yeah, at least now we're live. We're ready to go.
Yeah, and that we are. Speaking of ready to go, whilst we are getting just a little bit closer to starting, I suspect a lot of the players, people watching, and ourselves have been keeping our eyes closely peeled to Worlds. So is there anything you think about Worlds so far, any takes, anything fun? Doesn't necessarily have to apply to this game, but if there is anything about Worlds that you think might even show up here that you want to talk about?
Well, the best thing is not seeing a Mumu in every game, because it's banned out every time, right? And I'd love to see the new answers to it. I'd love to see the new like Ezreal bot lanes and all the rest of it coming back into fashion. I will say, it's such a shame that we don't have that MF and Mumu lane, because it's so fun to watch. It's so exhilarating, Say it's like them going Tryndamere mid now. I just love watching that gameplay. Just spin to win, like.
I would spin right now if it wouldn't pull my headphones off from my laptop. It did run through my mind, but I quickly stopped myself. But yeah, like you say, it's just that exhilarating that you feel like you have to bring it into solo queue. And I can't wait to play a draft pick and just see all of this fun and, thrilling thing come across. Amumu, of course, nerfed on this patch. World's patch is the one past. So Amumu, mana cost flattened to 70. Might be a lot harder to get too much out of that champion in lane. But of course, Yar have been playing quite a bit of it. I know you weren't the biggest fan. You didn't think the team had the best synergy or coordination on those two picks. It seems the world's teams don't either.
Well,
maybe it's too much of a pipe dream.
Such a hard combo to pull off. I mean, to be fair, we are seeing some wildcard regions. I mean, NA wildcard just looking absolutely terrible. Yeah. So I'm joking.
They did lose to DFM earlier, so maybe they are going to get put down a peg.
No, we have seen some very funny clips. Did you see the MF who tried to R-flash?
The old,
the old casual technique.
Titan time, not the bullet time, the Titan time. Bless him.
That was, I gotta say, a classic. I was really loved that one. Today, I am expecting to see the MF Amumu still played. Maybe even just transition the Amumu to a Leona. I much rather prefer the Leona, be honest. But yeah, honestly, I mean, we're going to probably see just normal jungle picks. I'm not expecting to see the Talon or the Zed come out, because at this level it's quite hard to pull those off efficiently compared to like at the higher level where everyone knows how to play around those, because they've been in that solo queue aspect for so long.
Yeah, very much so. Somewhat concerned about the Aurelia presence. I think last week we saw it first pick twice, and it was pretty hard answered. I believe it has 100% pick ban presence so far at Worlds. I don't know if that's true for today's games as well. So maybe this one comes around again. I don't think Zypher's too much of the Aurelia player, but it's something I'm a little bit concerned about. The jungle meta seems unchanged. A lot of Lee Sin, a lot of Xin Zhao, and then further down that list comes Qiyana, which is the only thing that I think's kind of exciting, but it's not had amazing performances.
I don't know. I think Qiyana, Zed, and Talon are S+ tier junglers at the moment. I think that they're massive. I'm not expecting to see them today, because I just think at this level you just play what you know. You just play to those comps. You're not taking the best meta picks in, because you don't have time to learn them. But honestly, like those picks, disgusting. If you're good at those champions and you go into those lanes, I mean, complete and utter domination in the jungle. I will say I'm still expecting maybe to see the J4, even though he got nerfed on this patch. It doesn't sound like much of a nerf. 10% max HP down to current max HP damage down to 8, but that is what brought him into the meta in the first place. Before that, he was down with the dogs. So maybe we'll see it, maybe not. Maybe it's just a trap that people will fall into, just not reading the patch notes. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, that we will. I don't think we're too far off seeing either. It should not be long before draft, so perhaps we can lean ourselves towards these predictions and maybe a little further away from Worlds. So Haven, we've seen quite a bit of them before. Of course, Seraphine team, Swain team as well. They bring out some of the more creative bot lanes.
Yeah, I'll let you comment on their ability.
Well, it seems they've stuck with the same roster despite criticisms in the past. We'll have to see how
it's
they
a
do
joke,
today.
please. But, hey, okay, right, yeah. But hey, I'm fully expecting great games today. Great performances across the board. As you're saying, I do expect them to take the enchanters into this lane. We have been known that Team Yard do take the more aggressive, engaged people. That's ready for us. But yeah, it looks like we're going straight into draft. I have to do the transition thing, which I am not used to doing because, yeah.
I will pick up your point there whilst you do transition.
There we go.
You mentioned the enchanters as some of the options. The other big thing, of course, is the Lucian Nami. Maybe as an answer for maybe the Mumu if it gets through, but of course probably functions okay, at least into the Leona MF as well. So perhaps that is something we lean more towards and a little less towards the mages.
Yeah, Nami's my favorite counter to MF. Honestly, I just think the fact that she has to stand still on the spot no matter what. So, and if you got the Nami wall, you can just throw it out and it's guaranteed to hit her, guaranteed to cancel that ulti. Also, you can stop a Mumu engage and all the rest of it, and then your healing on her is insane. There is a bug with her at the moment with the E on Lucian where you can get if you go electrocute, you get it procced off. And that is an insane amount of damage. Yeah, I didn't believe it either, but I've been casting some Master Tier games, and they were telling me that it is complete and utterly broken, and I played it, and it is broken. I don't know if it got patched up this patch. It could be, it could not be, but if it is, we see an army. I would expect them maybe just to at least try it because it is dominant.
Yeah, well, just be careful about spreading those bits of information. I understand that if they're supposed to be unveiled, or not unveiled, but veiled pieces of information about the patch, then maybe there's some ban penalties coming your way, but I doubt it'll be anything too much.
It's okay.
The internet will leak these things anyway. It'll be fine. It's no problem. Speaking of no problem, it'll be fine. There's ins out immediately logged in for y'all. Not anything surprising so far.
Yeah, I mean, last week had a great performance on this Inzao. Complete and utterly domination to that jungle, especially in that third game. I think he completely popped off, really carried his team across the line. Looks like Haven are going to take this J4. I guess not really caring about the nerfs that came through this patch. In my opinion, I think that might have been a slight mistake, but maybe they got a team comp they want to draft around, and that's where they want to go with that. Morgana sort of pulling out the meta slightly. Still a good answer, though. Like, the Black Shield is still an insane ability.
With the buffs as well, I believe it was 2 seconds at every level or around that point for Morgana. So the shield is up a lot more often, which means you can do a lot more within the lane. You don't even maybe need to max it second. Maybe so you can lean towards the mandate buffs or the more typical mage items that you see on some of these enchanted supports. So of course, Morgana, not necessarily potent, but what she does bring is always very viable.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those mandate buffs are, it doesn't seem significant, but that damage going over the whole game is pretty crazy. We are seeing Caitlyn taken away. Maybe they're scared of the Caitlyn Morgana bot lane. Maybe my favorite bot lane to respond to that is maybe taking Lux Caitlyn. Seems a bit odd. I know what you're thinking, Lux support, but trust me, you can pop the Black Shield very easily, and if you ever catch anyone in a queue, instant dead every time. Looks like it's just going to be a simple Leona pickup. Sort of okay, maybe slightly disinitialized between the Caitlyn. The traps is sort of harder to land with a Leona early on, but seems okay. Seeing that an Ezreal? I mean, I prefer Ezreal, but just not with the Morgana.
Yeah, as a duo, they don't really bring so much together. But of course, if you're staring down a Leona Caitlyn, I'd feel like I'd want to pick Ezreal, just for the little bit of harassing range and the ability, of course, with the Arcane Shift to remain safe. We see a lot of it all of the time. Ezreal just being super useful with that E ability. So here we are into the second phase of bans. First rotation is complete. So junglers and bot lanes locked in for the board. So we expect pretty much all solo lane bans at this point, unless maybe the Java is going to get cheekily flexed somewhere. But I be surprised to see it.
We have seen a J4 top at World so far, so that could be an option. Don't think it's going to happen, obviously, due to the changes. I don't think it's viable in top lane anymore on this patch. Obviously, Worlds played on previous patch. Came out yesterday, so maybe a slight difference there. But either way, it's still an option for them if they want to go for the Flexius pick. looks like they're just removing basic champions. We know what Yar play. The KL pretty much always taken away, and the Akali, a very good respectful ban into Harry.
Yeah, with the LeBlanc taken away as well, we're maybe anticipating an Oriana. It would be what I'd expect, and of course, the top of Leona and Xin Zhao. That ball is very easy to get into that backline. The KO ban, I love to see. It's continuing that trend. It's not been first rotation, at least this time. Perhaps
is that going to be the Riven? Is that the Riven? If it is,
it's a long hover. It's a long hover.
If it is, if it was the Riven, I would have tweeted it out. Come on, you know. I have a few caster friends who Riven mains, and they just love to see that played in 5v5. So if you had done that, maybe I would have tagged them in it. So. Yeah, but either way, I mean,
almost a Riven game. Tweet that.
Mold, pretty broken. I played a Soka game yesterday, and he was like 10-0, just never dies. Can't bothered. Pretty strong champion. You can always just fight anyone who comes to your lane with that when you get that level 6, high damage. Hopefully that's just to mean they're going to take an AD mid. Not always something you want to do when you have an AD jungle as well, but I feel like they need that AD source in the mid. So. Be interesting to see who they pick up here. I believe they play the Zed, so maybe that's where they're going to go.
Fiora Horvath, I do quite like the pick here. Of course, I imagine there's a lot of great riposte targets between the Morgana binding, Jarvan's combo, and of course Mordekaiser ultimate can be parried as well.
Yeah, and his E as well. Looks like they're going to take Vlad here. They are drafting a heavier AP here that going to be relying heavily off the Ezreal if they go later on. That might be a mistake if they take that.
Ezreal's damage is of course mixed, but yeah, like you're saying, right? Fiora
action, Harvard. That could be a fun pick here. I haven't seen it in 5v5 work out very well, but I mean, it's picked up. If you get a lead, as soon as it hits that, if they get to that 30-minute mark, that champion could make all the difference with those resets. You know, everyone was trashing him when he first came out, saying he's not good. Then all of a sudden, he just became completely and utterly broken, which I predicted, I will say, but complete and utterly broken champion. He has seen less play recently due to some nerfs. They did gut him slightly, but either way, I mean, it gives him a bit more AD. That as soon as it gets to the later game, if they do want to stall out for it, could be a vital pick for them.
Now, the only thing I currently don't like about Akshan is I do not know his ability name. So once we get into game, give me a few seconds. I'll double check over those. But I'm super excited to see it. It'll be my first time casting one. I haven't played a lot with one because I haven't played a lot of draft recently, or at least since its release. I very much was that kind of person. My impression was that the passive is perhaps overstated as being powerful. And then I played a game of the champion. I was kind of convinced it wasn't great. But the more and more I saw, and the more I got used to seeing the champion being played, and the kind of patterns and the press the attack builds as well, definitely can be potent. And I'm curious to see what it will do in that mid lane. A lot of agility, almost giving me a bit of a Talon vibe. Maybe a bit of a Quinn vibe, being able to use that camouflage, get down the river into these side lanes, and try to get something here. Maybe find an advantage with Mordekaiser over the Fiora, or again, push this Ezreal over the edge with this Caitlyn Leona lane if they were struggling. So I guess it'll be up to Harry to continue this performance and streak his hand to stop Arbush from getting away on this action.
But if you look at the side of Yard, they do have some great CC, and I mean, I'm expecting Harry to take that TP, which he's been known to take in previous games. I maybe use that to maybe like get a cheese gank bot, you know, get that third ward, that ward in the third bush, and then you can come down and get that free kill every time as Lysandra with the ulti. Another thing to note is that, you know, Action, you know, he's famous to be in this so hard to catch mid laner. He's dashing and diving. You could never really. It's so hard to land skill shots on him, right? But Lysandra, point click, W, just in range. You know, all these things that might be able to get shut down easily by this Lysandra. I will say, I think honestly, drafts, none of them looking too synergistic, but synergized at the moment. But honestly, I don't mind either one. I mean, I'd be happy playing either one. Maybe I wouldn't take the Morgana personally, just based off of like her position in the meta currently. I think there's better ones you could have taken into that. Even like going the Braum, I think might have been nicer. But otherwise, I think two great compositions to play out.
Okay, so perhaps in the mid game, we're thinking it's going to come down to whomever has the lead. Then, if these compositions are pretty well balanced and pretty well even, I think I do maybe prefer the R take, simply because a lot of these champions do very well at moving forward. Although we have seen that be a bit of a double-edged sword in the past. So of course, we'll have to play this one carefully. And between the Jarvan and the binding and the Morgana, not Morgana, Mordekaiser pulling apart your composition, diving forward, maybe not always the best idea that you have in mind. So it's up for Haven to use their skills appropriately to make sure that the Sarchon and Ezreal have all of the time in the world to do the damage that they need to do to get through this Leona and chew through this Lissandra and Zinzao as well. So
Yeah,
40 seconds away from starting. Maybe we have some ideas about early jungle, or if there was another point.
yeah. I was just gonna say, I think we should see just the supports unlock this game, right? Like you've got Caitlyn and an Ezreal, two people who don't really need a support's presence to farm, right? So I'm fully just expecting to see just a second jungler out on the map. You know, this Morgana should just be roaming the whole time because I think into a Caitlyn lane with the Leona, it's going to be very hard to push a pressure with that. So maybe you just go towards this mid lane, this top lane as the Morgana and try and get those ahead. Because honestly, I think that they're your like important kills to get early on, because this Ezreal, yeah, once he gets to 3 items, he can pop off, but you need to get him to there and into the Caitlyn lane. If you're just wasting your time down there, I don't think you're going to be able to get that far ahead, you know. It's the same with this Leon. It's going to be quite hard to land Zenith Blade onto the Ezreal, and then when you do, he's going to be black shielded, so you're not really going to be able to get the stun through. So it's going to be quite hard for him to navigate here.
Yeah, well, I believe we'll have a little bit of a bumpier time transitioning, just again because Twitch had those issues. So whilst these windows are opening,
why is this not transitioning? My Streamlabs has decided not to work again. Okay, well, give me a minute, people. Okay, so after 2 seconds, it transfers perfectly fine. Well,
all right, bear with us for literally 2 seconds.
Streamlabs update really worked out well.
Right, so let's take a look across the board. Akshan rocking to press the attack, not too surprising there. Ezreal taking the Conqueror for those later games as well. Jarvan taking the Conqueror as well. Probably going to lean towards the Bruiser build, Gordrinker, Sterak's, that usual kind of thing. So maybe not too surprising here. Comment for the Morgana, not my personal favourite. Looking to maybe play around more that laning phase style, I guess. Was recommended.
The good thing with it is you can check bushes and stuff like that with it, and you can also just, like, when you land the route, it's guaranteed to hit. So I personally prefer, I take Comet whenever possible over Airy, just because I prefer the actual like pop damage when I land poke, but because you're not always going to be poking where the Airy is going to be useful. So yeah, it's okay. It's not, maybe not the best when you think about defensively, but like you could have gone the Guardian build and stuff like that. But yeah, it seems okay.
Well, I have just about loaded onto the Rift, so everyone, you can join us in welcoming the champions if we are properly transitioned.
Since I'm going aggressive, the flash in forwards.
Oh, I am super late.
Yeah, I know, that's why I'm casting it.
Let me catch up on 8 times speed, as you say. Let's see what was blown here. Flash is burnt here on the Lissandra, the Akshan, and on the Leona. Sorry it took me a while to hit the Rift. My tiny little 3 to 4 year old laptop's doing its best, I promise. So, got some couple of wards spread across the Rift now as well. Yeah, I got some in here on the red side, so I haven't looking for something here. They get vision onto red as well, so they'll have information about the stats. I think both junglers might.
I think if you're either jungler here, you got to be happy because both mids have lost flashes, right? The important thing to know is that the ER did expend that other one, so J4 does have the opportunity to gank bot and mid pretty early on, and that is what J4 is going to be looking for. Lots of early ganks, and as far as it goes, he has the opportunity to do that, and he's better at doing it. So.
Oh, it would appear we also have a little bit of a lane swap, and I love to see this because I don't think it happens enough. But we've swapped the Mordekaiser here from top lane with the Akshan, so it's Lissandra into Morgana. Whoops, Mordekaiser into Lissandra. I don't know what it is with my ends, but I always get them mixed up. And Fjord here into the Akshan, so I imagine that's going to be maybe a little bit rough.
I mean, I'm not sure it completely makes sense to me. You just made it melee versus range in both lanes, because Akshan doesn't get an advantage against the Fiora, who can dash and chase him down. This Lissandra's going to be insanely powerful. So maybe not the best choice in my eyes.
Oh, maybe it's because the flash was burnt. You're anticipating a Zinzao coming in here, but of course the lane's longer in top lane, so may even be more vulnerable. I am slightly curious as to why Mars isn't running the Hex Flash. I see a lot of Hex Flash on Leo now. I'm curious about his choices instead. Maybe looking to make use of this flash disadvantage. Jarvan finds his way into the river. There at the camp. Doesn't seem to care. Jarvan seems to have been spotted at too great of a distance, just creates a bit of pressure and returns to his river dwellings.
Yeah, trying to prioritize punishing the Flash Dust Leona there, but it looks like he's going to come up behind Lissandra here. This could be a good gank for him.
Yeah, got a long angle here for Harry to get out. He does have the claw available. The Flag and Drag is just a little shy. Gets the 8% max health damage there. Oh, Harry going back in. He knows there's Slinny in the vicinity. He's going to get the electrocute here onto B. Maybe there's something here as Osprey squad out when Slinny arrives in time. Not enough time though to get that knockup to interrupt the Flag and Drag, and so Scare is just going to get out of there.
I think Slinny's going on still. I mean, he's going to stop him from getting able to get that red. That's going to be massive here. Direct Cam doesn't want to show us it, but...
Yeah. Flash away from Oscar, and a flash follow over the wall, just perfectly picked up there as you were describing Slinny. Making good use of pressure. Zypher here having to pull the repulse to Ambush, taking the tower shot. He's going to swing around here onto this one. There's a counter kill here for Haven. Just a short.
Well, I guess that's the perk of this lane swap, I guess. He's at least able to pressure this Fiora, but he's going to throw back to this tower here. He's going to go down.
Maybe looking to get an execute. It's not going to find as Harry finds himself over the wall, and a little bit of a dagger into the back of shot.
Oh yeah, what's Slinny going super aggressive here? He's popping this red take.
A little more action, as you say. Slinny's trying to interrupt this take. Flag and Drag, and the directed camera's going to delay this from going too much further. Ambush TP'd in here after his death. Big in the vicinity as well. Slinny just overextended a little bit behind in terms of XP, trying to chase all these kills. Gets killed himself.
You get a kill, you get a kill, everyone gets a kill. I mean, come on here, like... Slinny invading, no pressure mid lane, just gets caught out on the rotation. Zephyr's dead top lane, so maybe just a bit aggressive, trying to stop him from being able to get that red, but going in now.
Well, there might be more kills on the board as well. Ambush going to get his riposte and vital broken here. Zephyr looking to get a little bit more against the second Conqueror prop, sorry. Just slices and dices around there. Ambush getting taken down.
I hate to say it, but this lane swap is looking like it's time to swap back at this point. Honestly, not looking too good.
Well, they are just about even in both the lanes in terms of CS. Of course, kill advantage over here for Yard, but it's mostly due to the difference in jungle pathing. Of course, Slinny also did get one over, so maybe our best look or indicator is looking at the gold, and it is pretty much that first blood difference in favour of Yara at the moment. Plate may be extending that one, and if Zypher cannot die here, he does have the ult. He has 2 levels here on Ambush. Ambush best be careful with that minion wave as well. He's going to take the wrong end of that trade even at his tower.
Yeah,
fishing advantage as well.
Even if he goes for that kill, even if he gets it, he loses a triple stacked wave, so it would never be worth it to even attempt it. So happy to see that he backs off, just takes the wave, takes some farm, catch back up. You know, there'll be other chances to kill later on.
There will, at the rate this game's been doing, 5 kills already in 5 minutes, almost 6, so be due one anytime soon. And as I said, I can see Slinny behind Jarvan here. They have vision of this one, Mars in the vicinity as well. Great distance on that Flag and Drag, just ever so getting over the wall. Blast Cone taken away. Less options here for Oscar to play this one out. They are on the Rift Scuttler vision, but they will be looking for this dragon regardless. We might get a few more kills. Lane's moving up his priority. Ooh, the grasp there, just short of Harry. Getting away from the opposing enemy claws. Ambush getting engaged on here with the grand challenge being procced. Ambush looking for a little bit of damage. Has to flash towards the enemy side of the map. He's going to try and use this minion wave, but it's not going to be enough. The healing here on the grand challenge is just so simple for Fiora. Just outdueling Arkshaw.
Yeah, honestly, really well played by Zephyr, just knowing the right time to go in. And look, he's got that mini wave stacked there, so that can just be a freeze. He can just leave that be. And he's just going to lose so much in that top side, that action. I think it is time to swap that back around. You just take the mod back up to the top side. At least then he has a chance. He is up in CS, so I mean, pretty even on gold, I'd say.
Indeed, no heroic swing available for the action. Here I am on these names. A little bit of trade here from Harry. I don't think he got the electrocuted just there. As you say, it might just be time since the Mordekaiser is not exactly winning this lane either. Might be doing your best to mitigate the threat of Fiora, but we might be doing pretty well. He's going rogue here. Here's Akshan, finds his way into the mid lane. The Flag and Drag flashed away from here from Harry's going to lock up on the backside. Uses the Zhonya's and, oh sorry, the ultimate looked like a Zhonya silver one. I don't know what's wrong with my eyes. I'll have to go back to Specsavers. But Harry doing well to avoid that gank there. Zhonya doing also well to dodge away from that binding. He's going to get a little bit of a trade back here onto both members, and is quite happy just to absorb this wave for now. Yeah,
nice little dodge there. Honestly, it worked out really well for them. Maybe you hold the Q slightly longer as the Morgana, but either way, I mean, nice to try and go for that when you know that Mars isn't there. It worked.
Ambush spotted out here. Despite going rogue, he is very much visible to the eyes of Yard, but he'll be going invisible as he sees the grey screen and sent back to the
Honestly, great work by Harry there, just finding them out. I think Maud's going aggressive in the top side.
Oh, he pops them into the Shadow Realm. Celine going to have to be dueling on this one. No 6 available. He is very much behind this Mordekaiser at the moment. That damage is pretty huge. He's able to stall it out long enough. The stun's not going to be enough to buy him out of space here for Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser, like you say, just becomes 10-0 and unstoppable, but he might be stoppable in a combination of 3 members here as the Grand Challenge is propped again. Going to get dragged behind, but Fiora doesn't really care. She's just waiting for that next dash to become available. Zenith Blade, not really going to connect here. It's just a bit of time here. He's buying the Black Shield's going to do a little bit better. Buying some time. We're going to be stuck here. We're going to get another Bite Proc and flashing away from that one. Yeah, coming out ahead, but again, Celine maybe falling a little bit behind.
Yeah, honestly, great work there by the mod to get that kill on Sunny, but throwed it back on the backside. Great run by the Morgana, maybe just slightly too late to be able to influence that, but I think at least you tried something. You went up there, you tried to make the play happen, and yeah, either way, I mean, the kills are going onto this Fiora, and she's stacking up pretty well. It's going to be a point where no one's going to be able to match her in that side lane.
Yeah, of course, we've seen quite a bit of Fiora in our time of balance this one so far, doing pretty hefty amount of work so far. I might have to see how this 3-on-1 start goes for the Fiora. It's probably going to go very much in the favour of Zypher as long as he plays it pretty well, and it's been the pattern so far. It's up to Haven now to put the stoppers in that shock. So to get some of this vision out of here. They did get the first Drake. The next Drake is 2 minutes away from the board. It looks like the Herald will be the next point of contention, perhaps. And these towers, or too many plates yet broken, they'll be the next thing in sight here. But in fact, it's Mordekaiser's going to use a Brave Ball here to pull away both Zypher and Selene. But he's still on the chase. Gets the passive down in the riposte. Not really riposting anything. I don't think he has the ult available to get himself out of this one. So he's just going to get locked up and chopped up here by the Speared Sword combination of Selene and Zypher.
Yeah, that's gonna be a Herald here. Probably starts up on the side, and I gotta say, the red buff doing so much work there, just slowing him from being able to get away. But maybe you shouldn't step that far. But either way, I mean, great play by the side of Yard, punishing that.
Which gets the shield from his passive. He is going to walk down and proc the press the attack. That was a bit of a struggle here onto Harry. And a little bit of pressure. Java may be looking for something here. Slim now caught up in terms of level with Java. Both going to have vision of each other on these controllers. I believe they're bounding lines here onto Mars. I'm not going to be too worried about that. It's going to maybe sit on a potion. So vicinity here to cancel this kill. Great ult here from Harry. Puts himself in frozen 2. What's going to be the one picked up on the backside. There's not really enough health here for trying to get involved to let him prevent anything from happening there for Yar.
Yeah, I mean that's massive. Like that's the one problem with Lysandra. She had Sonya's pretty early on with that ulti. Really able just to punish that engage from the J4. Worked out quite well for the side of Yar, but will it convert into the Drake? I'm surprised they still didn't take that Herald in the top side. Maybe they should go back and get that, try and open up that mid lane for Harry, but it looks like they turn up to these plays better.
Yeah, it did at least defend the Herald for now, so it's less and less likely that later and later this Herald goes there into plates. Zypher, I believe, got some free time in that top lane to get a couple plates for himself, so the God lead is slowly extended here from that 400 from First Blood, but it might be look to be turning around here as SP goes in. A great stopwatch buys time here for Mars, but we're looking to turn this one around. Zania has a great position up here on the river. It's going to have to tango with the chains here from Morgana. Does dodge away from the Jarvanaut, not really making much use, but putting himself in the middle of the pot, and he gets absolutely stirred. Selene now cleaning this one up despite the exhaust. TPing in from Arch, and as we take it straight back into the top lane and back into the bot lane as he's going and swinging around with the heroic charge around the corner. But we get the Absolver in hand, gets the 2 Resurrects. We'll have to see how that one plays out with his move. He's available. Harry's TPing back into the fight with the Glacial Path of Albush, having to get out of that one. I'm not sure who won that.
I'm gonna classify it as Yar, just simply because they still got the cold, even though the resurrections, but the resurrections are coming in big because it'll allow Ezreal to catch some of this wave coming down now. That'll be great for him here, just able to catch those minions after such a poor fight there. I think him flashing over the wall might have been a slight mistake because he was able to get punished there, not having any escape tools afterwards. But honestly, I mean, I'm happy they went for a play trying to make something happen. They did have action roaming down, but Yar just punished it faster.
Yeah, being able to bring more members to the play, even if
nice
the
race.
initial start was not so great.
Look at Mars holding that wave for him. What a
top level support. Hats off to that. You'll love to see it. That's what League of Legends is all about, holding the wave. I sure hope he gets a good thank you from his teammates there. We don't see it often enough. Zypher being able to crack the first tower here, it looks like does get great riposte here, but he's going to take a tower shot on the back end of that one, so he's not going to look to stick around.
Yeah, and that's a 2k gold lead.
Might be even bigger at the end of this one, so we'll wait to count as he gets flashed away from this one, but he's going to get frozen tombed on the back end. The Black Shield absolutely vanquished as quickly as it came down. Scarab taking the back end of that frozen thrall, and it looks like a Yard Drake. Oh, I don't know if I have a co-caster, so I'll continue as I was. There's the second Drake here for you. They were able to pick that first one up earlier into the game after back into the skirmish, being able to bring their bot lane up since they had the priority. Keeping Leona lane being quite potent, quite threatening, despite not having the flash available. So yeah, behind maybe in terms of a jungle. That's not true anymore. I've just checked the KDAs as Lily's rocking the classic 4 into getting super far ahead as he may do. But he was behind in CS and still is for some time. But perhaps you can blame that for the Dragons not really rewarding you with CS.
Oh, sorry,
yeah, now looking. Oh, we're back.
Yeah, so I saw sorting out audio levels because I could not hear. Like, I think I don't know if it's the same on stream, but you were a bit quiet, so I had to turn you up a bit and turn down the game slightly. So I hope it's better. Maybe it was just my end, but yeah. Zephyr, if you haven't noticed, he's pretty much picking up power plays left, right, and centre, just completely and utterly destroying it.
Yeah, he picks up a riposte with the stun on the back end here onto you. Yeah, chip down. Oscar was in the vicinity to answer, but Zypher knows better than that with the lack of vision he has on this bottom side. Just going to hang around since he has no wave to play with.
And Herald finally taken up from Team ER. Look at the four-man Herald attempt. If they'd done it earlier, I think they could have maybe got the second lot round, but no, it's still looking good for him.
Oh, a late riposte here put Zypher in a bit of a tricky position, gets stunned up for a little while. There's some chip damage here. First roll. Java's there for the dive, but it seems Mordekaiser's doing it and does auto-attack the tower, but the pass is going to reproc. The Conquerors does step on the trap, and the Zenith Blade's a little short. That's what happens in the bot side. There's the dunk here from Java. That one should be cleaned up. Grand Challenge is absolutely accepted. He takes those as Zypher's punched on the bot side. So 2 big plays here for Pentahaven. Going to have to see what they can do inside the Shadow and Monster.
Leona wins this.
Time with the
you win this.
Leona might win these. The Aftershock is now proc, so he's going to get absolutely melted with the passive as well, but he comes out on the other side and swings on the far side of that one. Going to kick that one into the bucket for Mordekaiser.
Honestly, I mean, great work from the team of Haven there, just being able to get that shutdown on Zephyr. I didn't want to say it out just whilst the other two were fighting, but yeah, great. The shutdown went onto the right person. It goes onto this Ezreal, who has got that Triforce, is building towards that Mirror Mana. Once he gets those items, he will destroy. So I'm happy to see that picked up. More, maybe overstepping in that top side. Maybe nearly kills Mars on that Leona, but I think Mars could have solo killed him inside that Death Realm if he used the Ignite and committed it in for it. But saves the Ignite, gets away with it anyway, he gets the kill on the other side.
Does that indeed. Yeah, now coming out ahead before we had that little break in terms of communication, you were talking about that gold lead is now stretched to maybe about 3k. And so every time we mention it, it looks to get a little bit bigger. Oscar using a great flash here away from the solar flare. Harry jumping in here, gets the binding out and rewarded and get the red buff. And now look together, it doesn't look like Haven want to punish or are in the position to. For now, there's no real objective on the board until Dragon in the next 2 minutes. Of course, that would be Soul Point. Well, would bring to Soul Point, I mean to say.
Yeah, I mean,
I worked in threes, I'm not Jin.
It's okay. I mean, they're doing really well.
Ooh, fancy foot back here from Cypher. Is going to get the stun and an opportunity here onto Sharon. You fishing for something using the binding to prop provision. The Herald comes down as well with that second tier, as you mentioned. But the rest of Haven's here, Zandia is not in the vicinity. It'll be up to Yard to make sure they use their members appropriately. And the Flag and Drag used to get away. The Herald charge pops the last little bit of damage here. The riposte is a little short time again. Grasp a little short as well, and the Ezreal finds damage onto 2 members, and the Herald drops. So a lot of people here in a tower, but not much else.
No, I mean, I think if Caitlyn gets a lot of damage on this mid tower, if she can maybe take it down, it might be worth using the Herald. I think they would have maybe got that tower anyway with the Fiora taking that tower. Yeah, they'll probably get this for the most part. Ooh.
Oh, Java looking for something, and he finds 2 members inside the camp. Someone jumps out, Smithy trying to create some space here, and they're going to find a turn here onto Java. Java drops first, despite there being a numbers advantage here for Haven. Double teleports coming in, itself to protect Zypher. One TP and Harry get in the back as well, so there is a available TP now for Yard, but we got one of the TPs in exchange.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate engage from Haven there. They went in too soon with no team behind them, and then great mechanics there by Zandia to use the E of Caitlyn to actually knock himself out of the ulti from the J4. Being out of position and then come back and get that kill trade.
Yeah, I think that's worth mentioning, right? Is that we haven't really talked too much about the Caitlyn Zandia much this game. I feel that's maybe a bit of a habit we had, though. As Caster Cursing gets bound here, nobody really in vicinity to punish. Oh, I say that, and there's a great bit of puddle damage there coming in a little combination with the Ezreal and the arcane shot. So I feel looking to get around this Mordekaiser inside the portal is going to get stunned up. Is Mars on the back end of this one? I'm choking on my words because it's a little bit unclear to me what's happening. He's going to get picked up on the backside. Mordekaiser just being a beast.
Well, Haven snapping back now. They're really going in for this. Great work by the Ezreal and the Morgana, hitting nearly every binding, I think, in that play, the Morgana. Honestly, I'm happy that Mars stepped up and took that for the Fiora, because having the Fiora alive makes more sense at this point. They will need to someone will need to reset and maybe catch that wave topside, otherwise they're going to miss out on a lot of XP, but for the most part, that play really executed.
Well, Harry looked to maybe make something happen here. It's probably ill-advised, but it would be. So just going to drop the glacial path over the wall. I'm not going to find a dragon with it. Slinny in a bit of an awkward position here. The blades here from Akshan going just a little shy. So I'm going to get chased, but he is able to protect the tower in exchange. I don't hate that effort from Slinny, trying to trade for the dragon. Yes. Yeah, great plays from Haven just a second ago to catch themselves back up with the pace of Yava.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, a great proactive play. I think that it's a shame that the Ezreal got stunned. I think the Black Shield came down just slightly after a pause, so it was just a bit unfortunate timing-wise. But great Mord ult to pull him away and then be able to get that trade kill just based off the binding on Leona when it came out on the other side. Really well played. They do lose this tower in the mid lane. Maybe they should have said something to defend it, but for the most part, yeah, they are going back into this game slowly.
Yeah. Well, Zypher's looking to make that one a little bit longer as a great grasp here again from Machera. He's going to buy himself some time. Zypher doesn't look like he wants any more than that. He's chased him as far as he wants the vision to go. And a great interrupt here from Harry stops the arcing ship from going too much anywhere. And the shot does connect, and it does find enough damage there onto Sam.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Caitlyn did enough damage with that ulti. It isn't the Dark Harvest Caitlyn that you're used to.
Sort of just a little short job, no. And we have a little bit of a fiesta going on down there. As don't clip that, anyone. It's not the look you want to have.
Look away, children. Honestly, it happens from time to time. But for the most part, I mean, this game's looking pretty good for Yar. Haven have had their moments to come back in it, and I'm hoping that when it comes to these objectives, that they'll start to come back and fight for them. They did get the last Cloud Drake, so they are looking like that they could contest Soul, but it is a Cloud Soul at the end of the day. How much do you want to commit for a Cloud Soul, you know?
Yeah, exactly. They were able to find themselves a turn mid lane. Roger finds Fiora here. Zypher going to be playing around with the tip of this one. Looking to buy some time. Does have a great riposte here to buy himself exactly that. Some space as well. Going to be looking to walk away. Mordekaiser thinks he wants to respect this one. He understands the vision is not in place for him to really chase that one too far. One of the members in the vicinity as well, in case that one goes right. And as you say, Fiora's ult, grand challenge be up soon enough. He's won that health advantage, but did lose the ult. But Harry's looking for something here, and as soon as that ward comes down, the Frozen Tomb comes down as well, and all of the riposte and everything else comes down from Zypher. That's a kill here onto the Mordekaiser. Will be curious to see where they get away from it. As you say, Oscar is on the right side of the wall for anything to go on. And the flash binding is just too good. The Zonya's anything to come out. There's no Frozen to remember, and that one's going to go all the way over to Ezreal. Sad job, and all that just going to be punished there by Zypher, dodging away from that one. That's Slim in the vicinity now, and that's a much better solar flare straight onto the head of Ezreal. No time to respond to this one. They're TP here just for support, and the binding and the riposte meet again. Slimmy looking for vicinity. Sandiar's in the range as well. The flash audacious charge going to get the Black Shield out of the way of that one. And the Gale Force connects Sandiar into range to pick up a kill there for Zypher as well. So yeah, coming out ahead on that skirmish.
Yeah, it looks like they might go for Baron here. They're feeling pretty confident. This could be a mistake. I mean, Ezreal and Morgana are down, but yeah, all it takes is one action proc just to heal them back up, and it could be messy here.
Could be messy. Of course, there's smite available with the flag and drag here onto Jarvan. TP's into the pit as well. They have the ability to turn, and as you say, the Mordor, we might be able to take away Slinny's ability to smite and let the Jarvan get in there as well. They have no vision of this pit. They do have a camouflaged Akshan as well. To see how this one progresses. Mars looking to zone away Mordekaiser in the back lines of this one though, and he does ult the jungler. Baron onto 4k HP. You'll have to buy this one out. Yar stopped the Baron. They're looking to turn instead. They might be able to pick up the Mordekaiser as soon as he comes out of that shadow realm. He's absolutely dropped, and the grand challenge healing going to be put into use as well. The team going to be kept very much alive, and the find pick here onto the jungler. That could be the Baron in return as well. But the double kill here for Ezreal as he finds the massive mystic shot over the heads of Yar. They're going to have to turn that one away in a 2-for-2.
Honestly, well played by Haven to get that back. After the Mord went in slightly too soon there, the Baron was only at 4k. Obviously, he didn't know that at the time, but I mean, look, they've come back and look at this pressure they can apply here.
Looking for more. Akshan going to get some pressure, as you say, here onto Zandia. Going to put Slinny in the way of the Absolver. Trying to tank up one of those shots here. Ezreal looking to get a little bit chip and rest as well, but as you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, the Baron attempt foiled there. So is he going to go for that? No, he doesn't know where everyone else is. But Drake's coming up in 30 seconds. If they are going to reset and try and fight for it again, because last team fight didn't go so well. Even when you killed the Maud beforehand, the Ezreal turnaround damage is just crazy at this point.
And you like to see it on the Triforce as well. And there's been a lot of things, a lot of Divine Sundra builds on this Ezreal of recent. I believe they mentioned it on the cast it was today as well, that they saw the Trinity Force build be maybe a little bit more popularized by, I believe it was Doggo. So that following suit, looking pretty healthy for a 3 on this Ezreal, keeping in tow in CS. We'll have to see if he can stay healthy in this fight as Linny is being dropped down to half and pulled in against his team. Ambush getting chipped out as well.
Yeah, our separators
on the bottom side of this river, looking for maybe a little bit of pincer, but might end up just being split instead. It looks like they're going to be split. This dragon in the way of their team fight at the moment.
I control
just
what's
a little
bad.
bit shy or not shy. The comet lands, indicating that one to me. Harry going to be using the Ghost Path to create some presence here. He has no other way into the fight at the moment. Maybe he has the flash available, looking for something to do there. It's the Frozen 2. Ambush caught on the backside of that one. He's invisible, but is very much spotted out here by as the Grand Challenge comes down. I don't know what's happening on the other side of the fight, but Ambush is dead over here. Let's jump back straight into the river, and the dunk here from John is going to put the team of VR into place. Harry on the backside doing exactly the same with Frozen 2, buying himself some time, going to open up the Zandia to get the damage in, but it's not enough. He's looking to take down Mordekaiser's Zyphers, find his way into the back of this fight as well. Ezreal's in exactly the wrong place. The members of Haven are stuck into this Dragon Pit. They're able to cut this one around, play around with Haven, and they're doing exactly that. Mordekaiser's the next one to be toyed with. Zandia just about surviving some of the damage there, and yeah, just very much winning out that fight on the tiptoe of their range. Also pick up that dragon.
Yeah, honestly, the closest fight we've seen all game, and that's from a goal deficit from the side of Haven. Ezreal really popping off on the damage in that fight. I think Harry maybe misclicked the ulti on himself, or maybe just wanted to dodge out on the Ezreal ult damage. But for the most part, I mean, Ezreal was finding the right position in that fight. Maybe he could have used Flash later on to survive slightly longer, but yeah, they're able to pick up those fights. That was a 4v4 that they had there for the most part, and it was looking pretty Haven-sided till Fiora returned.
Yeah, and there's a fight on so many fronts as well, right? With Harry in the backside, Ezreal being able to split between the two fronts. It's quite hard to keep track of. Yeah, must have been struggling to keep track of that one as well. Just able to keep themselves afloat with those very narrow health bars. Imagine if that gold lead was just a K or a couple of hundred gold shy of what it was. It could have been very much in Haven's favor. Instead, that gold lead that had been lingering on to 4K for now has now grown itself to just about 7K. The Baron on the board as well. Yeah, might be looking to put that nail in the coffin that I've been trying to find for so long now. This game has stretched to 25 minutes. Might not stretch for many minutes longer, depending on how this Baron fight goes. As you say, Haven been doing very well with their team fight and their composition so far to keep themselves afloat in this game, despite, as you say, the deficit. They're going to have to dig much deeper now if they want to get much out of this Baron play that is probably very much on the horizon, unless somebody makes a drastic error. Yeah, might be looking to do one better. They do have just about both teleports available. They could try something in a 1-3-1 style.
Right, none of you have played the QSS tax against the Maud yet, so that could be scary going later and later. Obviously, he can't. There's one person I'd say he shouldn't really ult, and that's the Fiora. He may be able he may be able to kill Slinny. I'm not too sure how that's going to go at this point. But if you look at action, he has the QSS. He might be a bit scared of the Lissandra engage, so that might be able to make him just last that little bit longer in these fights.
Slinny might be looking to put him very much out of the fight before he can last too much longer, and does also take the stack away from Mars. SMH not really supporting your support, which is a bit unfair. No wonder he misses the thing on the backside of that one. Does get the Zenith flat, but he's going to have to flash out of the rest of that one as Jarvan finds a flank angle there.
Right,
real CC connects, but it's enough. Dissuade. Going to be able to catch him on that casting, I should hope. Riposte here prevents Cypher from getting pulled in, but it does put him under peril if he doesn't have that one up in time enough. If they were going to bring more members, the flag going to be threatening here for Yard to keep them away. The binding just a little shy of the mark. And here we are into this 1-3-1 composition, as maybe we could expect or should expect. What's available there? Cypher dodging away from a couple of the maces. Going to clear out some vision. So we're now in this tense Baron dance segment of the game that the LPC casters do love to talk about, just waiting for something to happen, and this is it. That's exactly it. Something's happening, and it's happening here onto Oscar. Although that CC comes down, he's flashed on the other side of the wall, but he has the ignite and the ult to get himself some time, but this is not enough. He's going to drop Harry in the backside of this one, going to flash here straight onto the Ezreal, going to use the cleanse and a little bit late and unable to flash behind Arbush on the front side. Mars going to get taken down here by Yoon, but it is enough bit tight for Zandia to clean that one up on the bottom side of the map. Zypher's going in straight in here onto Beaks. Going to miss the riposte, going to get the grasp prop. Sorry, not the grasp, it's the grand challenge healing. Going to keep himself alive for float. So there it is. There was the mistake, and it happened here under a scare game. Picked out in the jungle, and the rest of the team followed.
Yeah, really, you're favored there. I thought that Java just get caught out trying to use the flag as vision in case he did start that Baron, just gets caught out, completely destroyed. Action is up, so Furious had to back off that bot wave just in case he kills it and gets that res on that Lord. But yeah, it's split fight from the side of Haven, and another Zhonya's misuse from the side of Team Yard.
Yeah, maybe something I don't know about Zonies. It does bonus damage to Baron or whatever. But either way, that Baron taken up in good time. Maybe it's buying time for one of his teammates to respawn, just to spread those Baron buffs across. That would have been big brain. So yeah, coming out ahead, using that vision control of that river, with that pressure to make sure that somebody from Haven oversteps, and they punish that one, and they pick up so much on the backside of it. So here we are now with an 11k gold lead. It's in Yar's court to close.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, really looking strong in this one. I wonder how Haven are going to recover going into the next game, because Haven going into this are top of the table. They should really be fighting back harder than this based off of that. So if Yar pick this up, they could be. I think that they might be tied for the top, but Haven have played one less game. So is that right?
Yeah, both teams at the moment sat at 3 wins. I believe Haven have played one more game than us. Oh no, sorry, we played one more game than Haven. And that game ended up in a loss. So as long as we could hand this loss to Haven, we should, no matter what, end up ahead in the standings, assuming we win the next game as well. But that we can wait to see how it goes. It seems written this one, but we've seen bigger leads lost in the past.
I like this play from Haven to just give up the Cloud Drake. If I was Team Yarp, I don't think I'd take it here. Honestly, Oh, Harry.
Oh, the ult does connect to the max range. Harry's going to be stuck on the edge of that Mordekaiser. It's super hard to get away from. Uses the frozen tube on himself to buy himself some time, but the timing here from Mordekaiser is pretty good. He's going to have to make sure he can catch back up. Though Harry, of course, has the glacial prayers probably back up soon enough, and Mordekaiser not wanting to stick around. The Ezreal ult does just connect. I thought my eyes were deceiving me. I thought that one was just going to be shallow, but that one just very much tipped the edge of Harry there. So that's a boon here for Haven. They're going to have to see what they can do now with numbers advantage.
It's the best opportunity for them to win a fight here. 4v5, they need to go for something here. J4, you can see waiting on the flank.
J4 is in a position, but it looks like Yar pulling the trigger first job, and now on the other side, he's going to get next. The 90 caliber net on the other side of the Cataclysm is going to get taken down probably in a short meantime. Mars surviving here on just 2 HP. He's going to walk this one out, but he is definitely out of the fight. The Zypher finds the grand challenge here onto Akshan. He's going to clean that one up as well. Mordekai's the last man standing here for Haven. The other members are just too far ahead, and with the Baron buff walking, it's not enough for Haven to come back into that one, despite the 45 for triple hit here for Zypher, putting the team on his back in that team fight.
That's got to be game here. Honestly, I don't see. I mean, that is game, right? I mean, I thought that Haven had a chance in that team fight, but I feel like there was some slight miscommunication there, where the J4 went in and everyone else was like, "Hey, there's a Fiora there. We don't want to go for that." And maybe that slight miscommunication is what ended that one going that way. But for the most part, I mean, it was looking like they had a chance to come back when they catch that Lysandra. I thought, this is it. This is the opportunity to try and make a play back in. But yeah, it didn't look like it was going to happen. Get the scoreboard up because it was bugged. But yeah, there you go. I mean,
yeah, I was quite sorry. No, go for it. Go first.
I was going to say stats don't say everything, but Zephyr in that top lane, honestly, just sort of untouched in that lane. I got to say, I think the lane swap early on, maybe not the best. Like, you might have had a better chance of the Mord going into the sand, like with the Mord going into the Fiora. I know it's not the best lane, but at least then, your Akshan can outrange the Lysandra still, and then you've got mid pressure and stuff like that. But yeah, Zephyr just really just popping off this game and just sort of carrying, really.
Yeah, if you consider that his first death, or one of the first deaths, was him under the tower, I believe at level 2 or 3 to that Akshan, which was really the only time that we saw that lane swap shine. After that, he only saw 2 deaths throughout the entire rest of the game, carrying then 14 kills in that first column. So Zypher, of course, doing super well. I do feel bad. I think Zandia performed pretty well in this game. He did get shut down a couple of times, mostly when I talked about him, sadly, a bit sarcastic here. So I'll do well not to mention him again. But everyone else can keep their eyes on Zandia to see how he does for the rest of the series, because quietly carrying, I felt like, at least the bottom half of that map, enabling, as he anticipated or would have liked to have seen at the start of the game. You said getting these supports out of the lane, and Zandia very much doing well. not to lose, really.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you can get into the next game, but I can't yet. I believe it's because they're all 5-man stacks. So, are you in it yet or no?
I am not. I hadn't moved to do so. So maybe we can toss ourselves to a break, and everyone watching can take a quick break as well. Grab yourselves a cup of water, because we'll be right back very soon with a game two. Hopefully, we can be ourselves a little bit as blame Twitch. So yeah, no worries, guys. We'll see you back here shortly. Hey, welcome back from a quite short break here for game two ahead of week 5 balance. You join us back for Haven versus Yar. If you missed game 1, it was a bit nail biter despite a lead that Yar had. They find it difficult to close or find a fight that was convincing up until around that Baron point where they're able to utilize their vision to close that one out in a swift matter after that. So it's now in the court for Haven to find themselves a draft to give them maybe a little bit of hopium or copium coming into game 2. What are we expecting?
Well, one, I'm expecting not for that lane swap. Honestly, I just don't think it worked out the way that they wanted it to. I think last time did they do that? Last time they played GR, I think they did the lane swap as well. I think that's something that they like to do. Honestly, I don't think that's the plan going forward. I think you got to shut down Zephyr on this Fiora. Maybe give him maybe try and take him off of these split push champions, because the way that he's playing that split push was very hard to catch, and then you could just parry pretty much everything that you threw at him to try and stop him on the side lane. And it's only when Harry got thrown up there. It's only when Akshan early on could pressure him, but as soon as he got late, you got so many dashes and so many chances to catch him up that it was so hard to shut down this Fiora. So if you're gonna leave it open, play a counter pick.
Play a counter pick. So I can't quite remember how the first ban phase went, but I remember they took away the Kale and the Akali for the second phase. So maybe we're looking to change that one around. I don't really know what you want to give. I feel like Kale is maybe the lesser of the two demons, but of course you bring so much more to a team fight than Fiora can do. So
I mean, I'd rather give a Kale, because at least Kale at the moment is so easy to punish, right? You got so much time to punish her before she becomes this god level teal. But the thing with the Fiora is it's played universally because it's just probably one of the strongest champions at the moment. Bruiser, you know what it is. Hey, getting on to draft. We'll do the transition. There we go. The cast is in band straight away. I think is that one of their main picks, or just maybe a disrespect ban. I'm not too sure.
I know it's definitely one of their comforts for sure. It was first banned last game as well, along with, I believe, the Silas. So I'll have to see if that remains the same. I suspect Yard don't feel like they have to change too much after first game. Maybe their own composition they're narrowing down and refining after game 1. I think maybe there was some opportunity. I think you were somewhat agreed that both of these compositions were fine, but maybe not exciting. So we'll have to see if Yar make any adaptations to make themselves less predictable in this game as well. Volibear taken away. Maybe a little bit surprising to me. I don't feel like this team plays or sees too much Volibear, but the Zin's out is not a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the jungle pick that Slinny goes to when he doesn't have access to that Zin or the J4. So maybe they're just going to ban him out of full jungle and go, hey, no jungle mains for you, none of the ones that you like. So we'll see where it goes in the next one. If they do ban another one, if they don't ban another one, I think he'd go straight to that J4 maybe. Just take Harry's LeBlanc out, just get rid of that.
Yeah, that one makes a lot of sense. Banned, of course, in the first game as well. It's the one first rotation I do remember being taken away, and Jarvan taken away as well. So Jarvan being a bit of a sneaky priority, really, in the balance. You can't really hate it. It's a very easy to function champion. It's got a victorious and a championship skin, so you'd hope it's pretty good for the competitive scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a simple to execute champion that is useful pretty much all the time, right? I'd love to see what they're going to respond with if they do take the Mumu MF. Maybe they go for more of an interesting jungle pick, Sejuani. It has been played at Worlds so far as well by On My Life. So maybe they take that here as well, and then you got extra CC for that MF combo later on.
Maybe indeed.
I'm gonna take the MF though. They're holding it for a while. If they don't take it here, I'd be okay. No, just Kai'Sa. Okay, just. Maybe they just don't play MF, or is that just?
Perhaps it's a Mumu jungle. That's also an option as well.
Surely not.
Who knows? I guess it's ill-advised in that case. We'll have to see how this one progresses. As you say, I think they have a little bit of a history of swapping and playing around with the flex picks in their draft, so they're going to take away MF, which is a little bit surprising to me. I felt like maybe something like the Xayah would have been a better option here.
They're going to take MF Leona next. It's going to be like they love this MF combo. They always put Mars on an engaged support. It makes a lot of sense with the Leona combo. If they take anything else, I'd be very surprised. Please don't pick like Thresh or something here because it's just not. There we go. Thank you. Listen, okay. Thank you. Okay, okay. My understanding of the game is worth it for that.
So you're drafting orange at the moment.
Yeah, I think Haven here they should really take their jungle pick just simply because you know what is going into, unless you really want to make sure that you blind like a top or something here, because you got to bear in mind you got to take something after the ban. So whoever has the bigger pool, you take them like after, right? So they don't get to throw as many bans here. Okay, just go mid instead. My bad.
So the Lissandra locked in here, looking to be blind. So it's a denial pick as well as opening them up for 2 bans. I don't know if they're gonna. It's an odd position, I feel like, right? Because now you have to ban out tops. Well, so yeah, they have last pick, right? So they have the option to ban out top laners and take the counter pick of whatever's left.
They're just gonna ban Harry out, right? That's what they're thinking.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense, right? Because the Akali was still on the board. So yeah, I suspect then maybe the Orianna. I'm assuming I haven't really seen Harry play too much outside of that, but I know he's very much capable. Caston and Sanas are also off the board LeBlanc. Now Akali joins that list of mid laners taken away. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess if they chuck another one, they're really focusing this mid jungle from the team of Yar, which to be fair, it's not wrong to do. They have been really strong throughout this tournament, but I gotta say, Zephyr today has stepped up that massively and really shone through. So are you really gonna leave open some of those picks? I mean, yeah, I was happy to see the Galio gone. I have talked about the MF Galio combination, but yeah, I mean, Zephyr's picks are all open. He can just pick that Fiora again because honestly, he seemed comfortable on it, and I think throughout this tournament, they've been playing it no matter what. So maybe they're just gonna pick it here.
Maybe they're just going to pick it here. Indeed, I'd be surprised to see anything else. They might have an answer prepared, but I believe it was close to last pick before, and they didn't get anything out there. So looks like a Panic Ivan ban.
No, they play Ivan. They play Ivan.
They do play Ivan. Okay,
I think they played it last time as well versus them, so that makes a lot of sense. Ivan, honestly, at the moment, probably an insane jungle. Like he's not the like go-to pick for a jungle, but he's still really strong. And if you like the ability to give everyone red buffs, blue buffs, because those things are pretty insane when you start sharing them around. Okay, I guess it is just a Mumu jungle. What do I know?
Okay, I was gonna say I forgot that was a Mumu support, and then they hover and lock in the round instantly. I know Yar struggled against the Ivan OTP. They played against, I believe in week 2 against Team Chonk. Looking to not repeat that mistake, but they get the free ban to Haven, and they lock in that role to pair with the Kaiser, a very potent lane. Pretty well matched, I should expect, for the MF Leona. So looking to vindicate the KO bans as well.
It was good a while ago at the start of the season. Honestly, I mean the ban the nivs that have come into Rail over the last couple of patches. Well, I say the last couple of patches over the last like 5 months.
Spring patches, yeah.
Have really been damaging to her, and honestly, you don't see her much anymore. It's very rare. There's only a few teams that play. I think there's 1 or 2 teams in the LPL who will die just playing her, right? Like they're diehard Rail fans, but for the most part, I think it's slightly a mistake here. I mean, yes, you have okay engage, but you are dashing into MF Leona, and to be able to get that E stun through a wall, you have to be in range to get that W off, and MF ult is longer than that, and Leona E is longer than that. So, unless I'm missing something, or unless they are really just comfortable on that champion and can really shine through on it, I feel like it's a slight mistake just going for that flex pick when I think just the Mumu's better here and you can just take a better jungler.
Yeah, perhaps that would be the case. I'm not sure what better jungler would be on the board. I'm not too sure what junglers Haven played. Lee Sin is the one that comes to mind as being open. I mentioned it at the height of the day. I'm a personal fan of Rob, as you say, that the nerfs have put her down a couple of pegs. I believe there was half a second taken away from her E stun at level 1. Maybe it got reduced with points, but of course the W cooldown being the major one on both mount and dismount, I believe they dialed back a little bit, but of course Rail now mostly second fiddle to things like the Leona and the Alistair, things that somewhat outperform Rail in terms of the matchup, so she just kind of gets outshouted by the other engaged supports.
Yeah, I mean the CD increase on her has just really stopped her in these team fights, because the whole thing was that you could get off your combination, you'd go for that Zhonya's, you get the Zhonya's, and you could get off another set of rotations. There was the whole thing about the Kaiser Rail combination with the E stun. It still works, but honestly, I think that just picking the Rail here, not the best decision. And look at your team that you've drafted here. Not massive, like your damage sources are only the Lissandra and the Kaiser here, and Lissandra's power is in the fact that she has this massive CC, so she's more CC based than damage, right? So if this Kaiser doesn't get ahead, you're sort of in trouble, right? And then you got Tom Kench into Kale, which is your counter pick, which is what you picked in. But once Kale turns range, that Tom Kench shouldn't really be able to match it very easily because she has the speed up. So when Tom Kench slows down with the tongue lash, she can just speed herself up and get away anyway. So, or just be good and dodge it, whatever you like. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they sort of counter drafted themselves here.
I kind of get that impression as well. They have doubled down very much on the CC, right? If you're able to find Yao walking into a choke, you can very much eliminate that combination. If you just drop all of the CC between the Tantrum, the Tom Kench knocks up, and of course Lissandra with the Thrall passives, and Kaiser just gets that free money with her passive as well, getting that bonus max health damage. So yes, this composition can work, but I feel like, as you say, you're kind of forcing yourself to play in towards a pattern where you'll have to be walking into a choke or trying to run away, and then you're able to get those massive wombos. But unless that Kaiser is ahead, you haven't got many other options.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing here is that like you got the three tanky members, the Tom Kench, the Amumu, and the Ral, and all of those will be punished as soon as that MF second item Lord Doms, right? That's literally just going to shred them to pieces. Yes, they got good engage potential, but their damage is literally just Lissandra and Kaiser. And J4 can still engage through the stuns because EQ broken.
Yeah.
And even then, you got MF and Syndra who will be so far back that they probably won't be touched by stuns if they can play it correctly. So I feel like that comp just, yeah, it's a nice idea, but I don't see it working out too well for them. Obviously, like the Lissandra engage, you could do the same thing like with the Kaiser ult, with the Rel, with the E, get the stun off, and all the rest of it. But overall, if I was playing these games, I'd much prefer Yar's team comp, even with, a surprise pick Kale on the top side. I'm more of a tank lover or a bruiser myself, but, you take what you can, and I think that Yar just drafted better for this one.
That might indeed be the case. We've seen losing drafts win out before, so of course it's up to Haven to make maybe what our perceived deficit is back up over Yar. Of course, they kept the last game quite close with a composition that we thought was quite close as well. So we'll have to see how Haven can make Yar sweat. As we just about load in, I'll double check that everything is going all right on your end and stream side.
Yeah, I think everything's okay. I'm just waiting for it to actually get in. Hopefully this time you'll actually see the start. I wonder if
I got my fingers crossed. Blessed little laptop. It's getting on. Bless him.
Okay, there we go.
Doing perfectly fine for now. That
it's working. There we go, boys. Let me just expose people for their levels on gems. Being the nice. Okay, never mind. The zoom and everything set up quickly. Yeah.
Well, I am a little bit ways off loading. Oh no, I lied. I'm onto the Rift.
Little trick: if you just tap the plus arrow a couple times, and you'll be ahead of me slightly, so you can do play play slightly earlier. But yeah,
I'm there. Don't you worry.
Yeah, the Rel ticket.
It's a pause anyway. It's all good.
Let me just turn off chat here so we don't see them moaning and any curse words and stuff, because this is a PC stream, boys.
All right, so I will keep chat informed as to what's going on in the meantime. So it seems somebody is lagging or missing. So as soon as they're back or reloaded, we should be straight onto the roof. But that, of course, gives us time to talk about the choice in maybe runes and, of course, summoner spells. I don't think there's anything summoner spells surprising. Maybe it's worth talking about the cleanse for the Kaiser, of course. If she gets stunned up by just, well, I suspect there's a point in the game where the Syndra will connect the stun the weak and the cleanse won't really say that. But of course, until that point is reached, cleanse are going to do some work. And of course, into the Leona, being able to cleanse away from that solar flare is pretty massive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure about the Guardian on the Rel. Sometimes I think that the Artichoke says that you're going to take more fights. I think the thing with Guardian is what it says is you want to take short little trades, but when you Rel, when you go in, you normally end up having to go in and fully commit here. So that's a bit interesting to me. I personally wouldn't take the exhaust either into that lane. But I will say, I think Zandia has missed a beat where he's taken the commit again. I prefer the press the attack because it allows you that more pressure and that more fighting ability, which you can threaten more often, right? Yes, the comet can be nice over time when you spam your E and all the rest. You get all the mana and all the rest and stuff. But nowadays, when you go for this lethality combination, even if you go press the attack, it still works really well. You go into the Eclipse and you follow up with low doms, and you can shred through people. Even if you follow up with the slow armor pen item instead, still really good there. So maybe press the attack would have been nicer here, in my opinion. I think last time he played the press the attack instead of the a comet, it looked better from him. I feel like he's more of an auto attack based player instead of the ability casting, which is sometimes quite like a big difference for most ADCs, right? Overall, I have to see the aftershock on the Amumu. Some people have been playing it with Predator to get that engage straight into the lane and speed up and stuff. But yeah, I think for the rest of the time, I think it's just bog standard builds, except for maybe the Comet from Harry. Sometimes people like to go for the Electrocute for that burst, but honestly, I don't mind the Comet here.
Yeah, maybe looking to make use of that range advantage, just going to get some pokes in with the Dark Spheres over Lissandra. I think that was one of the last point I think I have about the compositions here is that Haven might be struggling in terms of the range department, right? Walking through the Scout of the Week and the Leona and trying to get around that bullet time. You want to be very much in melee range, and the Cataclysm, of course, could very much plague here.
Looks like they're going to go for the silly cheese, though. I think their composition would look better if you swap the MF and the guys are around. I think they'd be happy with that with their CC based combination, but looks like they're going to take that. There is some missing pinks coming out from things. So
using the flag here, just to make sure to spy out the bush. I think they got the information that everybody's here, and of course that ward was put it out. We're remounting just in case there's anything too spicy going on, so we get the answer ward on the other side. So it's basically just an exchange of wards onto red buffs, which is perfectly fine. Both junglers get the same opportunities.
Honestly, good reactions there from Selene. Just feeling the atmosphere going. Well, I think they might have invaded here. Just being able to get down that vision, just know that they're there, spot them out. Yes, they still got the wards and stuff, but you know that happens. It doesn't make too much difference. You probably know where the other team's starting based on your wards anyway. So looks like they're both going to path up to this top side. Hopefully, we'll see a gank to influence that lane. Punish this kill early on. Is my advice to Haven.
Well, we'll have to see if they take you up on that one. I think that'd be my advice as well, Kale. We saw the 1 week that it didn't get banned, and it was very much a menace and the kind of talk of the series. So hopefully they'll do something about it this time. Tahm Kench, I think, is a bit of a surprising one. It's not something that always comes to mind, but every time I see it, it seems to do pretty well for itself. So I'll have to see if that pan also continues. It seems to be doing pretty alright with the Grass Brock already into the top lane, walking Kale back under a tower, just escorting her, making sure that she's safe. Sit under there. It's not your time to play the game. You're not level 6 yet.
Yeah, so that's going to be the story until she hits that range. Great Scout of the Week there.
Cute little Scout of the Week. Finding his mark there onto Arbush, just making sure he's stand up and get the Comet proc to connect on the back end of it. Not going to get pushed out of range for the Comet this time.
Look at the J4 pathing now. Look at the counter. The counter guy can come back and just get his buff as well.
What's up getting locked up here? Yeah, by the time catching a little bit of lick as well, just making sure he tastes alright. Finding out if he wants to eat him later on. As you were saying, the Pathing getting countered here. Going to get a triple buff for here is Jarvan. That's a great path. And just awareness here from Selene to punish, assuming that Mumu was just going to handshake on that top to bottom clear. Not the case this time.
Yeah, I mean, he'll fall behind for it as far as farm goes, but you know, those buffs give you so much sustain in that jungle, so it'll sort of be okay. And if you look at the top side, he could just go for a nice gank in that top side. The Tahm Kench is overextended, really being able to push in this Gale, so maybe he'll look for that now, but both of them are up there, so you're the Tahm Kench, you want to let that lane push into you so your Amumu can come back around and get that kill.
Oh, here's an engage here from Rao, going to get the drop down and the lock up hit onto Leona, but she's going to re-engage him. Hunter's End Blade all the way into the back. Maybe this is where the press the attack would have been better, but it does get a trade back here onto the Kai'Sa all the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised Mars went back in. Didn't have the E up yet, but it still works out very well. Great scatter again.
Here onto 2. I'll have to see if anything comes of it. Going to have to flash away from the boundary. Still Slimy going in. That's a bit counterintuitive to the way the rest of it was going. Does get the Skull Crab. Is it going to be a bit of a Blabber situation though? Does get the Crab and does get out. Better than Blabber. That's my call for that one. Well, maybe not be better than whatever for too much longer as well. Gets the flash drop down here onto this one. Ambush flashing as well as invite just for that first blood. 3 flashes here coming in for Harry, but he is now put behind. So maybe getting over the wall as well. I don't think there's too much chase for that. All the flashes.
Yeah, great punish on Harry, but you got to bear in mind, look, Kale has had a freeze in the top side, so he's been able to push this. And MF just got to catch a wave alone. So CS, the advantage that they had in that bot side is sort of gone. So if they can actually catch her out here on the rotation, looks like Amumu was going to look for something. If they don't kill her here, I think that play might have been bad.
Look for something, and here comes the knockdown hit straight onto MF. She's going to get locked up on the backside of it. Guys are letting go of the bullets, and Oscar is going to pick that one up with the tension on the backside. Zaffa going to get hit here as well. So they find that kill, as you say.
Yeah, so that's an important kill there, because that MF just got to catch so much because of that roam. So being able to come down, punish that, get that kill back, that's going to equalize that now. And I mean, Kaiser looking pretty happy in this lane. We'll need to back soon, so just need to push this out. But over the top side, Zephyr decided to push the wave, thinking that Tahm Kench was gone for good, and now you can't really walk up to this wave efficiently without the Tahm Kench engaging like this.
Well, here it is, as you say, the engage. Going to get the passage here straight onto Zypher, but he's finding himself in front of him. Just has the grey health to play with. He's got the press the attack already down, so all of Zypher's damage is going to be amplified for the remaining of that trade. So maybe not the right timing for that one. It's the worst end of that trade.
If he hit that knockup, I think it would have been fine, but the minions do damage over time.
Flash Zenith Blade here straight onto Kaiser Cleanse, but no Ignite put down yet, and the stun going to prevent Leona from connecting the follow-up stun here. Zandia now finds his way into the fight and gets a little comment on the back end of that exchange.
Surprised Rel didn't want to trade back there. I think they could have done a lot more there. For those who don't know, Rel's Q does just destroy armor, so she could have just done that when Leona W'd after the Aftershock went off, and then they would have been able to trade pretty heavily back onto her. Obviously down items, but still, that Leona was far away from everyone else. So.
Yeah, flashing forward at quite the distance, and it took, as I mentioned, Zandia a little while to get in there, and only got the one bullet to connect with the left tap there. Cypher may be looking to do something now that he hits 6. He is potential for him maybe to die if he can catch Beak off guard with that grey health Mars. Apparently the feature of focus here. We're just going to watch the mana regen.
Look at the roams though.
For a respite, but that does, as you say, give us time to take a little glare at the mini map and see mid lane getting out of this lane as Harry's been pushed in after losing his flash in that tree in the mid lane.
And the Dark Seal again. He loves the Dark Seal, he does. And when he gets to the right, that bucket he does. Honestly, gotta respect it. A lot of pressure. As soon as he gets some kills, he can snowball really heavily with it. And I mean, that has been the key to their success so far in this tournament. When he does snowball and get those stacks, it does end up working out pretty well for them.
It does indeed. Slinny, very much the same story. Maybe looking to make something happen here. Is a great stun there from Marbush. Make sure he's not going to get followed and gets himself under that tap before everything else can happen. Mars still level 3, finds himself in top river. Giving Zandia to the worst here. Maybe an opportunity to dive. He respects the potential, but I don't know if Haven are exactly looking for it. Maybe they're feigning a lack of interest. So they're just going to get a little bit of a chip here and find that CS no problem.
Yeah, Leona didn't show mid there, so they weren't exactly sure if he'd just taken a dodgy reset, but Tahm Kench going in.
Tahm Kench going in, has the ult of his own now available. Just going to get a little bit of a tongue in between the minions. Finds its way onto Kale. Kale going to get it, press the attack pretty soon. He's going to dodge away from the next tongue. Going to get some slashes back. Tahm Kench looking to close the gap here as Kale walks back into the river. Or from the river, sorry. It's the Grey House going to have to pop it now any later, and that would have been a dead Kench. Now be not looking to walk away. In the meantime, Haven picking up that first drake.
Yeah, Tahm Kench. Oh, he needs to say, look at the size of the wave. I mean, sorry, I know no direct cam's not going up there, but if I path up, it's going to make it worse. But yeah, I mean, he has to save for that wave. That's a massively stacked wave, so I think he popped the corrosion pot hoping that he can stay for a little bit longer, and if he can survive and catch this wave, it's going to be worth it. But is he going to get punished here?
Could be if he sticks it around for that one. I'll have to see. He's going to look to fight this one, but again, he's in front of the mini wave. The minions don't really care. They seem to be looking for the tower. He's going to have the flash. All the same, Zypher yet to be taking up the tower. Has his own flash available. Flashes forward and gets it as soon as that grey health goes down.
Yeah, just a greedy play there. I don't think he needed to dash in there. I think he could literally just, like, even if you just stay there to get the XP, I think it's worth it there. But yeah, deciding to go in for that trade, and Zypher just knowing.
Speaking of deciding to go in, there was no hesitation here from Selene. Going to drop the Cataclysm straight on top of the Amumu. He's already down to half health. That little bit of nerf damage is not going to go too much here, but the Scout of the Week is going to connect, but it's mitigated by the Magic Tosh, and Kaiser's straight in here to the back, and Harry's gone down as well. The rest of the Yard members are coming in, so the TP here from Zypher as well, so just going to make sure that Haven don't want any more of that. So far, a 1-for-1 jungler for mid.
Yeah, great punish. They get the great ult in from the Kaiser, but it looks like they're going to continue it slightly more. J4 not going to step up and look for that EQ, but yeah. I thought there was going to be a trade back for Rel on the second, but using that W perfectly over the wall to get away, and yeah, it's just a simple 1-for-1 there.
Yeah, I currently really love this state of the game. Both of these teams seem to be playing very much on the ball. Great look from Haven so far, being able to get the first 2 kills basically unanswered, and that one going 1 for 1 as well. They seem very much to be uh, working, communicating well together. Oscar looking to make use of that again. Zypher has the ult available. Oscar just going to walk into melee range, gets the ult out of Zypher very, very early. He's got no mana left, going to dodge away from the first Banjo Toss. Light coming down for the other. I don't think they want any more of that one. Ambush without the mana to punish that one as well. But just taking a quick look at that gold with that tower play, it's going to even it up just about exact there. So a very close state of affairs so far in this game. 10 minutes in, very different look to game 1, which was very, very hectic. This one, pretty well considered and conscious game so far.
Yeah, I think Yar needs to make a play for this Herald soon. Yeah, J4 just going to go straight onto it. They don't have mid pressure. Well, they don't have mid pressure because their top lane is not in the mid lane at the moment. But yeah, Moo's going to spot them out here. But Leona roaming up early. This is good for them. That should just mean it's a free Herald for them. Maybe a Moo's going to contest, but you're outnumbered, buddy. Probably wouldn't suggest that one.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to flash over the wall regardless. Does land to the Banjo's Toss and get the Aftershock proc, so he is a little bit defenseless for now. Amaz are going to punish that one for sure, and the Flag and Drag at the back end of the Zenith Layer is going to get him locked up, and that's Harry getting 300 gold.
And 2 Dark Steel stacks. That's the important thing. Now, is Haven going to counter this at the bot side? They do have 6 on Rel, so they can look for the dive afterwards. Are they going to go for it? I don't know if Rel's healthy enough, but they do have the exhaust, so they can maybe go.
Oh, great use of bullet time there just to clear the way to make sure that Zandia is under no threat of dive. Does get himself put to 3 quarters. It does defend those tower plates, which would be in exchange for this Herald. Normally, in this case, Ambush getting the ult down here. The Frozen Tomb onto Zypher. Zypher looking to trade this one, gets the heal as well. He's got to press the attack. Ambush is the one having to flash away from this play. Zypher definitely not being the one bitten off.
Yeah, I mean, surprise damage there from the kill. I mean, maybe the ulti used slightly too soon by the side of the Lysandra, but look at Harry. If he's able to get this kill here, that's massive. A triple stacked wave. If he can get this kill, Time Kench will probably be out the game for a while. He might
get himself killed instead. The Bandage Toss a little late. He's going to get flashed away from prematurely as Harry gets himself out of there with a knock-up. Passage might be able to find something about side, but as the second Bandage Toss here connects onto Harry's going to get killed. And that's not the stopwatch you were looking for, just to buy some time. Does get the remount, but he's going to find himself back in the fountain anyway. Celine looking to pick up here what Harry dropped off. Oscar getting the smite, going to try and get away, but the Cataclysm and the Tantrum going to put both members in a bit of a stall here. It might be enough time for Time Kench to get into range to be killed. Actually, Celine looking to bite off more than he could chew. Gluttony greeting for 2, does still find.
Yeah, I like the Amumu ult there, just use, but if you're going to use that, I wouldn't suggest hooking the J4 there. I believe you can hook buff, so you could have hooked the red buff there to get out, I believe. So yeah, maybe slight misplay, but so Mars might be punished here.
Angle through to the Krogs. Mars, as you say, might be punished here. Has no solar flare available, so he hasn't really got many defensive tools, but I believe Arbish used the path to get away before as well. So nothing really happening here. So they're in a bit of pressure, but of course, Stanley has to respect this wave. Just going to collect that one up. And again, I'm going to mention him just because there are no enemy members nearby him, that he's playing pretty safely and getting pretty good job done, but in the mid lane, getting a job done is Yoon and Arbush as they found to engage here onto Harry in the exhaust, maybe a little late. He's going to stop Harry from turning around this one too, so he's going to wait for that one to go down. The Scatter Week just not quite available, but the Scorch, I think that must have been Scorch, just going to tick that one down. It's very rare you see a Scorch actually come into effect. Yoon going to get picked up for going a little too deep in the mid.
Yeah, I mean, great. I don't normally like Scorch, but at that time, that's one of the few times where I actually gets that kill. I believe after is it 15 minutes, Scorch becomes useless compared to Gathering Storm, but for those early trades early in lane, very useful, and they're just able to get that free kill, and that's another 2 Dark Steels in that book.
Yeah, Harry fortunate to survive that one long enough to get the trade back on that, as well as the Scorch paying off dividends there. 2 pages in the book for the 2 stacks on the Dark Steel, sorry, reclaiming the ones he lost earlier. Plates in the meantime being traded. We'll take a quick look at this god as well. So with those kills in tow as well as those plates, I don't think the Herald had been taken and had been used. I assume that must have been in the top side since that's the only one with the plates gone. So that's pretty much what's keeping this lead anything sizable at the moment or worth talking about. To see how it grows. Looking to answer the first strike taken by Haven. Yeah, looking to use this kind of vacuum of vision that Haven have around in that bot side to pick up this Drake. I don't think he'll go into it here. Tom Kench level down is going to put himself behind Kale. I'm not too sure that's the wisest idea ever, but he is able to eat him up. But in the meantime, Oscar's going to get engaged on here. The sad mummy is about to be crying in his grave. The ult here used from Cypher and a flash away. The Cataclysm takes me back into the bot lane. Going to get a little bit of action. The flashes in the bot side in exchange for the Drake. I don't think anything else happened on top side either. Here I am trying to catch.
No, that's still fighting.
Directed cam looks like we're still going to get some fighting, and here it goes straight into the bush and straight into the knockers. Lily going to find his way to the back of the scout. Reek follows him. Arbush puts himself over the wall now. He's going to have to find himself a way out with very little options. Sandio walking up here with a strut, scout of the week, and the slow looking to follow. Slinda with the flag and drag, just a little bit shy. No cataclysm available. Arbush just going to get the stun to get him out there and in vicinity to keep him safe. So Flash, I believe, burnt on top side, and a fight one for Yar in the bottom.
I mean, technically a fight one in the top side as well, but he's just not able to get that kill. I think Tom Kent survived on 10 HP by the looks of it, just based on during all of that madness. But Harry might be collapsed up on here.
Harry trying to steal the blue, in fact, gives it over to Ambush in
nice
exchange maybe for his life. It's very considerate, really, very caring.
Oh, nice guy.
Good bit of sportsmanship. You love to see it. So, a bit of a quiet spot. The teams begin to reset, make sure that their gold is spent, making sure that they catch these waves in time for the next objective to spawn. We're looking at 3 minutes here on the Dragon, 2 minutes for the Herald. So for now, they'll just be manipulating the vision, looking to manipulate these waves to give themselves the advantage and the best fit they can for when those do spawn. Maybe looking for a dive here in mid. Yoon almost has the flash available, so keep your eyes on that timer in case a play is made around that one. Paired here with Ambush, the two with an immense amount of CC, an immense amount of AoE, could make something big happen around these chokes and these jungle areas where the objectives do spawn. Looking to group into top side.
Yeah, I mean, Herald's coming up in a minute and a half, so they should be able to get some vision ready to set up for that. But one thing I want to note is Harry getting this Leandrus here. Pretty interesting pick here, because obviously Leandru does more damage to tanks, but at the same time, you're going to have magic pen issues.
So using the rush to get out of that one, but he's going to find Mars on the other side of the Cataclysm, stuck between a Leona and a very hard place. Might be able to find themselves in the fountain as well as Mars. Flashes to connect here onto Ascari is going to be the victim. Again, the 2 and 5 Sad Mummy is very much his name. Ambush having to flash over with the Glacial Pass unavailable, but looking to get chased again. Tom Kench putting yourself behind the Gale, but I'm not too sure if that one's wise without being able to get the Devour off. Slowly looking to threaten here, going to push in for this tower. Harry threatening his out of the week as well. He's just going to hold on to the power of will with that sphere in tow. Going to tip and chip away at this tower, and as Sandy arrives, this one should be turned to dust. Harry turning dust into chickens, or chickens into dust rather.
And I mean,
Tom Kench looking for another knockout. Gonna get the Devour here. He's grounded, can't do much with that one. He's just gonna buy some time and put Kill under the tower. He's gonna use the ult to get himself out of here, but he's found himself 3 members. Maybe overstaying his welcome. Getting too comfortable in that Tom Kench lane is punished.
Yeah, you're not a Furo this time, you can't just parry everything, but it looks like they're gonna go for an engagement.
Oh, a great flag, drag flash straight onto Sanvet here, and the power of will gonna absolutely eviscerate the Kaiser before she can cleanse flash or do anything, even if she had them.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a great showing of mechanics there. Really good flag and drag flash into the scatter of the week from Harry. Really insanely well played there. And honestly, this gold lead is sort of ballooned, and it's going to be very hard for the Seam of Haven to come back and recover this. Yeah,
before this 6k gold lead was not as convincing. It was a 4k for some time. Oh, there's a stun here. I don't think too much is going to happen without an ultimate. But yeah, as I was saying, right, it took some time before Yarn were able to find a gold lead that meant anything last game. This time it's about 8 minutes earlier than before. I think 25 minutes was the time that they run that third Drake fight that kind of cemented the game before the Baron. Now it looks like 3 minutes before the Baron, or 2.5 before the Baron, with the Herald still available, they have cemented that same gold lead. So it's very much in the court of Haven here to really find a way back into this game. They did pick up Zypher in that side lane, were able to get some of that. I don't think it was quite a shutdown due to the gold. Well, maybe with that CS difference, it was a shutdown. I'm not too sure.
I mean, yeah, but even with that though, like Yar just matched it on getting the Kaiser in that play. They should just get this Herald for nothing here, and then hopefully just use it to open up the rest of the game. Maybe use it to bot lane and then go for that Baron. You know, that cheesy little play that everyone knows, but everyone goes for it, so it could be a good idea here.
Yeah, they might be able to trade the Dragon here, as you say, drop the Herald on one side and rush for the Dragon on the other. Zypher maybe in the not the best position, as he is stuck between just about 5 members of Haven as they could ascend down this river.
Herald has been taken.
So. On that blue ward, Herald has been taken. They know that one, and it looks like they're going to send members topside. Harry, of course, has that TP if he wanted to get down here. Might be the Wilders caught out on the backside. That's most of their engaged, just absolutely eviscerated off the map without anything really spent. Mars just caught in the narrowest choke and absolutely locked up and locked out. of this game for now. They're going to drop the Herald on this top side, so it looks like they're just going to give an exchange for the Drake for this top tower at the moment. That is an Ocean. Might be looking to steal. Bullet time is available. It could be hard to time a smite in between this one. It is going to be quite securely and safely taken up here by the Amumu.
You guys need to reset. Look,
but they haven't got the resets in time. They're going to get a second tower in exchange. They're going to find some flashes on the backside, getting maybe a little greedy, looking for the arm members.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't respect the Herald play at all. I think really well played, but yeah, you sack that dragon. It's only the second dragon that they're getting, and at this point, if you're thinking this game's not going to go on much past Baron, so you might as well use the Herald to get some gold. Those tower golds probably add up to more than the Ocean Soul is worth, let alone the fact that Mars went down as well. So like, you're feeling pretty happy about that play as yeah.
Yeah, progressing towards those inhibitors are very much the next step in the game. Mars very much isolated here, but he has got Slinny and whatever in the vicinity. He's going to go down first, and here's Slinny getting that combination of Harry looking to clean that one up, finds the Scout of the Week on to Kaiser. Guess she is maybe a little weak at the moment. The ult here comes straight down onto Ambush, the Frozen 2 not available to him. Oscar going to look to clean that one up, and the Rel in tow. But as you say, the 2 carry damages on down. It's just tanks, it's just AoE, and it's just not enough. Zandia looking to finish this one up. He's going to get himself a little bit of a love tap. Harry wanting to chase this one away, going to get the Scout of the Week to find be a little shy. Zandia looking, he's running, he wants it. Dude, running. She wants to get out of there. Going to get the shield. It's not going to get him over the wall. No heal available without the connection as well. Just going to get locked up here in the end by Zandia. But does buy maybe a little time for this tower to breathe. Maybe a little longer, but it's still its last. Maybe it's not. Tom Camp just going to dissuade that one.
Yeah, I mean, chasing just slightly maybe too long. You could have sacked that and just gone for that mid tower instead, but yeah, great job by Rel just to buy time for herself, just make a team come back up so they can't push down. I mean, if she went down a bit too soon, maybe they could have gone for that inhib instead. So great play there for the Rel just to buy time at that point. But Zephyr going to get caught out here by the knockup.
Does get the Gromp, and that is relevant for the heal. It's not just the 90 gold and the mental advantage. Going to get a flash follow here from Time Kench. Has currently the health advantage. Not going to use the Devour first. Going to put himself behind. So Zypher actually get some time to get some auto attacks in here and get use of this press the attack. Is going to have to pop the ult first. Going to get the Devour on the back end of that one. That's pretty well timed. And the grass just to lick him and lock him up. After that is a kill for the Time Kench.
Yeah, really well. Well played there by the Tom Kench, honestly, just punishing that kill, really step it up. He licked him really good, I guess, and just completely and utterly destroyed him. That's that problem with that champion, just really insane, and that's really insane, doesn't take any damage. And I mean, at what point did Sunfire just become a burst champ item, because it's just insane damage? Great scat of the week there. Can you follow up with ulti?
Another great scout. We'll have to see what happens, as it does seem to be followed up here. Oh, into the Zonya as well, timed with there, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Flashes into melee range of the scout of the week and does absolutely get scattered to the winds. Double kill for Zandia in the mid lane. I don't think we got to see too much of that one.
And there's no damage left. There's no damage left on the side of her.
There's no damage left, but there is definitely damage left on the back side of Yar's play here, as they're going to get Zandia under the tower. He's going to get locked up. The lock hit. Oh no, Zandia. What's happened, buddy? You've got locked up by the Amumu. He wanted to make a friend, you said no, and he's going to take you to the grave with him. Locked up under that tower, taking the tower there.
Yeah, that was
maybe that's Mars' fault for not holding aggro.
No. I mean, he was dead anyway, right?
Yeah.
That was. Yeah, I mean,
if in doubt,
fine.
Call him out. Support's fault.
It's better to have problems like that in this game where like he's still in your favor. 9k gold, sorry, 10k gold lead in your favor. Like at this point, it's better to get these out before playoffs begin. You know, so. It's alright, don't worry, he'll get them next time. He'll have 1 or 2 of those in each series or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Making sure that you are picking up the kills is maybe the more team directive at the moment than collecting deaths. Collecting next should be the Baron. You see the members may look to start collect themselves in that area as well. The vision is currently centered around that outside the Haven, and really this is Haven's probably last-ditch effort to try and rescue this game and in fact this series, but Ambush is not rescuable there, as Gary even commits the force of power as well, just to absolutely make sure that he is dead and not getting up for a whole 33 seconds, and that's probably enough time for Yar to get their way and start this Baron.
Yeah, just free Baron here. It should be uncontested. There's not really much Haven can do at this point, except from just tunnel. Maybe you want to clear that top wave before Baron is actually taken, so you have that super wave doesn't actually hit the base with Baron. But yeah, looking like it's just a free Baron take up for them here.
Yeah, picking up the first Baron of the game in a sharp 23 minutes Looking maybe to get a bit of a reset first. Ivan maybe staying, going to take the fruit up here. It seems Haven are making a ditch effort here, trying to play around the Dragon Wing conditions. The Dragon spawns in 10 seconds. I don't know if they have enough time to defend the base. If they do, though, as Yar just looking to march the Baron buff minions in. This could be it for the game.
They
Just
can't
how
flank.
this one progresses. They're looking to answer this one. Maybe, as you say, get a flank off. They have some of their damage here, but oh, what a great cataclysm with the 3 and the bullet time on the back end of that one. There is not much time left for Haven as they get cleaned off the map shortly after this one. Mars in the vicinity as well. The time bought here by Ewan with the stun is not going to be enough as the unleashed power finds its way into the back of Rel's horse. Those metal bars are not enough to stop that sheer damage. Tom Kench, maybe the last bastion they have in defense. Ambush in a little way. It's time as well. The last wave may be cleared here for Haven. Sam just going to buy some time, has no ult available, just going to get a ball just put into the back of that one. TP here from someone, recall Mars. Now he's going to stick around, he's going to help Harry put this wave in, so it's going to be a 3-way threat just because the inhibitors there top lane. They only have 2 members to answer 3 waves. I don't think it's going to be enough. There are some timers running out here. Oscar's back up as well. Leon's back up now as well, so that's the second inhibitor gone.
Yeah, again, they only have 1 damage source at the moment. You know, Kai'Sa is down for that time being. Lissandra wasn't in that last fight, and you saw what 1 damage source only does. So looks like they might be able to push this to get through triple inhib here. I don't think the team of Haven can really respond to it with the supers crashing in. Look at that top super hitting that tower. You got to be careful with those ones because they can actually just spread through a tower very soon. Looks like they're just going to pick up the Drake on the backside though.
Yeah, they're going to pick up their Drake just to deny, in the worst case scenario, any of that win condition coming back in there by stacking Drakes. Going to make sure that they pick up the Ocean Drake for themselves as well, because of course it comes with its own added benefits, not just denying it from the opponent. So going to secure that one, going to get the resets in and find this pocket of vision, just going to get the last little griblets and goblets of gold that they can into their pockets to spend, just to make sure that this fight is as easy as possible. But it might not even start as Yoon are unable to get the crash down onto the other side of the wall. That is one half of Haven's engage gone. They were looking maybe for a last-ditch defense, trying to get finally that team comp to align before the worst can happen. Looks like we're going to get another reset. I don't know if Harry's TP's up really in time. It's going to sit around instead. Every time they recall, I get baited into talking about resetting, but it's just not going to happen at this point. They have that 13k gold advantage.
But yeah,
send 3 members to answer that wave.
As long as these empowered minions, oh never mind. But just
making it rain coming down. The zone is going to have to buy some time, but I don't think there's enough time in the world for you as well. The Frozen team can do a fine job. Kai'Sa, it's up to Kai'Sa. Keep your eyes on that, Kai'Sa, to try and answer this one. The crash down available here for Rel as well. Going to get in there with the flash of the knockdown. They're going to get the crash down on the back end of it. And here we go. It's Kai'Sa into the back line, but it's straight on top of Slinny. And Slinny's just going to put him into the cataclysm, into his pen. You are not allowed to play the game. It doesn't matter how much damage you have. It doesn't matter how much pressure there is for you on your side of the team. It's just not going to be enough. Tomcatch able to get the dash out of there. It's going to maybe find himself knocked up here and taken out here by Zypher. 3 members left alive for Haven. They did find the kill onto Zand in the back end of that one. No MFA level, but she had used the bullet time as is. There are now 2 siege minions, 3, 4 more on the way coming in to knock onto this tower. So this is the last ditch, and they would find the first kill here onto Mars, but it's not really enough without their tower gone. I don't think they have enough ultimates or damage left in them, or gold left in their pockets as well, as you are going to start to clean up the end of this one. The scaling picks coming through here for Zypher as well, and the Nexus coming through in the end as soon as they get the last bit of damage in.
Great finish off by Yar there. I think maybe slightly stepping a bit too soon when the Syndra went back for that TP, but otherwise, pretty good way to round out the game. Honestly, they're going into the next series. I think this is good for them, right? You know, we're talking about a team that I think they lost. It wasn't last week that they lost; it was the week before, right? But they lost a couple of games they played. Have gone to those 3-game series, so happy to see one that hasn't gone to 3 games, even though, you know, my bank balance isn't helping you there. But for the most part, I think really well played there. They did a lot of things right. Maybe a few things they can talk about to recover afterwards. Yeah. But honestly, I mean, their team comp just worked better. They had more damage sources. I mean, Haven only drafted two damage sources in that last game. I like the idea of the Amumu flex, but in practice, I mean, Amumu jungle is just weaker. And at the moment, if you pick a tank jungle, you need a bruiser in that top side, because tanks really aren't that, like, tanks are okay, but they're not god tier pick at the moment. Bruisers are, and if you take that tank in the jungle, then you're tanking the top side. You're just taking out most of your damage in these fights. The tank should have 1 or 2 moments to recover, but overall, Zypher just pushed him out for the most part, and without any other damage sources, that you just sort of got walked over in those fights. As soon as the Kai'Sa went down, Lissandra couldn't keep up, needing to damage even with the AoE ability she has.
Yeah, and it was a fine look for the first game. And even the way this game started was a pretty good look for Haven, able to find 2 kills on the board and then keep it contentious for a while up till that 10-15 minute mark when I believe First Herald was taken and crashed. That's kind of when the tower plates and that gold advantage started to get a 2k, and that incrementally as the minutes ticked on, the gold started to stick on for Yar as well. A good look for Yar, as you mentioned. Of course, they did drop that one series, and Haven, the other team in the division at the moment, at 3 wins as well. So now they have the tiebreaker and win advantage, putting themselves at 4-1, and Haven here at 3-1 as well, a game behind. Because of course next week we have a bye, so you won't be able to see us here for any more action then. But there will be one more game to play in a fortnight's time from there. So maybe we can talk about that. I don't know if you're able to bring up the graphics or the schedules, so we can maybe take a look at the league.
I actually don't have the link, and honestly, I don't have the stuff set up to do that at the moment.
Oh.
So sorry, my production skill, it's
getting
there, but I don't want to, I haven't got my, everything cleared and everything's just in case. So, all my private data and stuff, But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's looking pretty good. I can list off 1 or 2. Haven obviously at the top, Trunk underneath them. Both of them have played less games than us. Trunk today played. I don't know what their results of that game are. Obviously, we did we lost to Trunk, so if Trunk do get to get that point, I think that the interesting match would be Haven versus Trunk, because if Trunk wins, then we have a chance of being second into playoffs instead of first. I think at the moment we're looking stronger going into it. I'm not sure who we have left to play. I think is it Eclipse Luna? Is there any people we haven't played so far?
Yeah, Luna is our last on the 21st.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that should be a fine game for Yar. Like Luna looking at the bottom of the table so far, so that should just be a nice easy warm up straight into these playoffs that will be coming after. Are playoffs best of 5s straight into it, or are they still best of 3s?
I think it's top 3 qualifying. Third place would play a best of 3, and then the rest are best of 5. I may be wrong there.
Okay, well, either way, I mean, going into best of 5s at the moment, that the whole tournament's based off best of 2s, and best of 5s are a complete and utter different monster because meta's evolving in these games. Yes, you might be able to get the first 2, but once they work out, like, they have more time to adapt and respond.
Yeah, and of course, you're able to bring multiple different draft styles, right? You're not sticking to your guns, maybe in a best of 3, right? So if your first game doesn't go your way, you may think that, okay, we're still happy with this draft, we want to run this one back. Of course, in best of 5, you have a lot more room to experiment with that. Maybe you have an Amumu composition that you want to play with, and then maybe you have like a Kel composition for another game or a fallback. Because, of course, if you're drafting the same for 5 games straight, there's a chance that you're going to get upset, you're going to get found out. So being able to bring multiple different weapons to a series, of course, is important. So maybe that's what we can expect to see for week 7. You are trying to find different styles that fit their wheelhouse. At the moment, I feel like their style is pretty well defined, and I think that's kind of what this series was to me, is that both of these compositions felt very very well balanced, and they're able to feel very comfortable and just kind of put their teamwork forward and play through that instead of necessarily relying on composition, because they have that mostly down.
Yeah, I mean, sort of. I am happy to say today, like, though in this last game, Harry did have a great performance. I will say in the first game, Zandia and Zephyr really showed up big, and that's something that we haven't seen often, right? That they've always been there, they've always done their jobs, but they've never been like the team carry, And in these series, they have been popping off. I think Zandia's feeling a bit more comfortable on the MF. It looked like he's done a little bit better. Maybe I'd argue that the itemization is still off. Lord Dom's not picked up there into that comp. Probably a mistake, but for the most part, I mean, yeah, he's improving on that champion at a better rate, and I guess he has put the practice in since last week, and it really is starting to show through. I am liking the Leona pick over the Amumu more. I think Mars has a better Leona than he does in Amumu, no matter the team fighting potential of the Amumu. But honestly, I think going into next week, maybe you want to practice 1 or 2 different styles, or do you want to hide 1 or 2 picks back, which you've been working on, and then go for maybe just a simple, easy comp, just execute it well, just take the win, and then move on into the next series, and then you've got 1 or 2 things hidden in your back pocket ready for this best of 5.
Yeah, well, everyone can join us and figure out what kind of style Yar will go for then on the 21st. Of course, next week you won't be able to find us here because Yar aren't playing. It's our bye week. you will be able to find other Valorant action around on the Valorant stream. So make sure you check them and us out for when we next go live. Unless you have any closing words, we'll probably be pretty comfortable to close the stream from here.
Other than like if anyone from Haven, one of the people have played me in chat, so if they want to message me in DMs and discuss why they're like that, I'm more than happy. My DMs are open. Other than that, really well played from both teams. Unfortunate for Haven, Team Yard just showed up better today.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. For everyone watching, thank you very much. And of course, thank you very much to HyperX for supplying us with the microphones, etc., so that we can bring this content to you. Thanks for Haven for the games today. I certainly enjoyed them. I hope the people at home enjoyed them. So again, thanks everyone for watching, and we will see us here on the 21st.